تَابُوا, except those who can take a different route. وَأَصْلَحُوا, 2 words, but work the word. 2 things. If you and I want to stem the tide of kufr in our lives, then because of time I'll give you 2. 1, we must take a different route, a different highway. We can't follow the same route. وَأَصْلَحُوا, we must become people of Islah. What is Islah? We must become people who help men's society. We must become people who what? Who mend the broken parts of society. Who must work not only for ourselves, but must work so hard that some of what we work for will not only be digested by us and our family, but we can share it with others. I'll tell you one thing. Consider this for yourself. Divine understanding of life is such. It's the richest form of wealth. Because I'll tell you this. No matter how much money you got, if you start giving it out, you will see it reducing. You know that. You know the laws of physics. Right? Unless you don't believe in that. If you don't believe in it, stand up outside there. If you don't believe in that, stand up outside there. And say, here boys, I have $20,000 in the bank. Come on here, let me stand up in front of the masjid and share out. It will be the fastest distribution of the money. But anytime you're inspired by divine loftiness, I'll tell you this, you can go all over the world and you'll see poor people and you can share with them and share with them and you'll be so happy because you're increased and they're enriched. It is important for us to understand Islam came to put the lid over kufr. Kufr is one of the fundamental reasons for the lopsidedness of people in society. Kufr has nothing to do with name. Somebody who's John or Prasad or Rabindranath or Hari Singh or Adam or Mohamed. Iman and kufr has nothing to do with this. Kufr has nothing to do with your Asian dress or African dress or Caribbean dress. Kufr has nothing to do with this. Kufr has nothing to do with any of these. Kufr has everything to do with the attitude of the mind. Are you and I someone who want to give divine loftiness a chance, or we want to give culture and tradition the main focus? What drives you and me when we have to make decision? Is it culture or is it divine sense? That is your responsibility as well as mine. Bear witness to your own selves that somebody just like you, I don't claim to be ever better than any of you, have reminded himself and have done so audibly that you too can take reminders. I hope you and I will be very responsible in evaluating these reminders and put it to good use for ourselves and our families. Let us seek the ways and means to be protected by divine guidance, rather than offer lip service to God. Oh God, we are going to turn back to you. It's better not to say, oh God, we are turning back to you. It is better to actually show it in actions. Because those of you who know Urdu very well, in conclusion, those of you who know Urdu very well, those of you who are from Pakistan, or formerly East Pakistan, now called Bangladesh, there was a great poet. There were many. But all Muslims now almost revere Allama Iqbal. And if you study the philosophy, his philosophy of khudi, self-development, you will understand the wisdom that man was echoing when he was projecting the Qur'anic values. It is senseless to make dua to Allah. It is senseless to do all these prayers to Allah when you and I are not prepared to overhaul our personality. When you and I are not prepared to live by higher standards and higher values. Iqbal used the expression, instead of you begging God all the time, God will present the opportunities for you to choose from. Muslims are full of dua. Ramadan is around the corner. They're full of dua and full of cheap salah. Prove this, that it is real. Let the dua that you make, let the salah that you perform make the changes in your life. Otherwise, it's a bad example to the children. Because you examine the children of the average home, of the mothers and fathers who do salah and who make dua. These children, if you corner them, they are not part of that. They are not part of that. They have this kind of thing, respect. But that's not real respect. If you really love your mother and father, help them to overhaul their darkness to become enlightened. I ask you and me to spend some time so that we can seek the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and change the course of our action. فَاسْتَغْفِرُوهُ إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْغَفُورُ. Brothers and sisters, these reminders are first for me. They may not suit you. You might be people who are above them. But because, as I've told you, these khutbahs are for me and for my family. Thereafter, they become the property of anybody to take from them if they so desire and are so interested. These are the best reminders to myself. They are a reflection of my struggles, of my commitments, of my goals, of my directions in life that I try to share with the world of Muslims. I hope, even though they are not directly perhaps suited for you, but who knows, maybe you too can find usefulness in all of them. We ask Allah to bless us that the messengers that He sent and the apostles He sent, their memory will always be alive. We will love them not by kissing our fingernails and every time we hear their names we got to say certain words, but are the last people to follow their message. I hope in our own interest, real respect means to emulate, to revere, to change and to adopt. I hope their memory will become that for us. As-salam.